and the tracking's going haywire for some reason. I don't need to see that again. Okay, in that case, well now, because I do want to talk about like one of the well, there's several reasons, but there's a good handful of reasons why. Uh, so I have a theory, a game theory on Metal Gear the remake. Because the remake is not out until August 28th, which is a long ways out, but that's long enough for me that I'll have the story fresh in my mind, but not too soon that I'd feel like I'm playing it again, so to speak. But that was one of the main reasons, because I'm still confused on why it's called Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, not Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater or Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake. So I have roughly 3 theories on this. 2 are kind of like very out there, and not any shape or form is this the case. And the first one is, although they've said that they are staying true to the storyline, I still have a theory. These are all based on the fact it's called Delta. Why call it Delta, right? They're going to do a Final Fantasy VII remake. In the sense, there's going to be a point where it will deviate from the storyline. Now, the reason that one's out there because it could be cool, but you could also piss off a lot of people if it doesn't feel like a good deviation from the storyline. And this is their way of like branching off to different games that are different in like a different timeline to the main games. Because that is very much out there, right? Because like you could piss off a lot of people by doing that if it's not done right. So that's my first theory, is that the reason it's called Delta, and the reason, yeah, I know they said that they're staying true to it, but what if that's kind of a lie? So they don't, when people go in, that's why I wanted to play it now, so that I have the story fresh in my mind, so then if it does, I'll remember exactly how things went. But that's ones I doubt. That's like a very small amount chance of that happening. Number 2 is they're remaking them chronologically. And it makes sense to not have the 3 in the number if you're going to remake them chronologically. Because chronologically, this is first. Even though it's the 3rd in the entry. But here's another reason why this one gets kind of flawed. Metal Gear Solid 5. Eventually, we'll remake. Now, granted, if they're doing, chronologically, next would be Peace Walker. Now, let's say, hypothetically, it's 4 years between each of them. Theoretically, even then, by then, 5 would be very old, but it's still very doubt they would remake it. Now, the biggest hope would be maybe they add the 3rd act into 5, because 5 was missing the whole 3rd act of the game. That was cut to get the game out in time. That's another one that's very much out there and very much doubt that. That's one of the ones that would be really cool if they did that and then eventually went through all the other ones and remade them, because their game development is so long. By the time they get to like the main timeline of the games, those will be even more older. But it's still, that would be cool if they're remaking chronologically. That's one of the reasons. The other thing is the most obvious one, the most kind of boring answer is they just wanted a cool name. It's not uncommon for remakes or remasters to have fancy, fun names. The Spiral Reunite trilogy. That's a mouthful. And it might be just that case. It's called Delta because they just wanted to give a cool name instead of saying Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Because even games that get remaked don't have remake in their name. I think Final Fantasy VII Remake was the last game that had a remake in its name. Because all the Resident Evil remakes are just called Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4. Not Resident Evil 2, 3 Remake. Even Silent Hill 2 last year. It's just called Silent Hill 2, not Silent Hill 2 Remake, even though fans call it that. But yeah, the last one feels like the most obvious one, but the other 2 could be really cool. The event into storyline 1 is definitely further out there, but them remaking them chronologically feels like it could be more possible. But like I said, the 3rd final was they just wanted a cool name, and there's a good chance they're just choosing the ones that are the most populist, because besides 5, I think universally 3 is considered people's most favorite, so it wouldn't shock me if like after 3 they just do 1 and then 2 and then and 1 technically got remade, but that was a while ago. Actually, I've never actually played Twin Snakes, to be fair. That's another thing with the next collection. It'd be really cool if they added that to the next like one HD collection, the Master Collection. But yeah. Yeah. My brain went dead on me. But yeah, those are kind of just my thoughts on why I think they were doing that. I might actually clip this out and put this on the YouTube. So like if this ends up on YouTube and stuff, let me know in the comments below what you're thinking. Why Metal Gear Solid 3 is called Metal Gear Solid 3, Metal Gear Solid Delta remake, and not Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. I honestly generally think it's the boring one. It'd be cool if it was the other two, but it'd be the boring one. They just wanted a cool name. But yeah, I think